And as you said, passively, I love that word because the best tutorial is going to be invisible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like what? Even them's Fighting Words, right? That the little My Little Pony game.
I haven't played that.
They put the.
Now
you know, put the tutorial in story mode. I think that's what they did, right?
Yeah, well, it's a
perfectly
platform, right? Like ideas like that, or even Grand Blue Versus. I talked about this before. The way Grand Blue Versus does RPG mode. I think the reality of it maybe is like a lot of players don't care for it, but I think the idea of it being like, okay, if they took it a step further, right? Like, what if the RPG battles each one incorporated a different tutorial concept? Where now, like, this character is gonna throw you. You have to tech the throw. That's the only way. This is an inescapable. The only way you can escape this grab is if you tech it. Something like that. You can't jump. You have to tech the throw. Being able to kind of like internalize those concepts for new players like that in ways that are like they don't have to worry so much about winning or losing versus another player, but playing a different game. But like I said before too, I have to imagine like that took up a huge chunk of the dev cycle. I have to imagine. Because it's. I mean, as from an outsider looking in, I think it looks really well done.
I haven't played it. I haven't actually played them's Fighting Words yet, so I can't really comment on this.
I've seen a little bit. I've seen a little bit. Yeah, only seen a little bit of, but it seems like they combined a tutorial with the story mode. Like one part was like Majin said, was like a platformer, teach you how to jump properly, which is really cool. I feel like fighting games so far, most fighting games haven't quite done that yet, which I think would be huge. And
yeah, I mean they're at the step right before for the most part.
Yeah,
where they have how to explain the information, but they have. That's for us, right? We play fighting games. We're not the target audience there.
Exactly.
They need something to bring in people that don't. The question is, how do you do that when I can dude, if I'm 8 years old and you're telling me, hey man, why don't you log into this fighting game where you're gonna get online, I'm gonna beat your ass, and then you better be in training mode practicing this stuff for 6 hours a day, and guess what? I'm still gonna beat your ass. What you can do, dude? What that doesn't mean anything to me. If I could just log on to Fortnite and go to a Travis Scott concert, I don't care about that shit. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
That was insane, man.
You went?
I didn't go, but I just saw a clip of it. It's like, what?
I watched.
So you logged into that?
No, I didn't.
I saw it was crazy.
When did Fortnite turn into like a media platform?
Are you kidding me? It's been a media platform since they launched. Like that's that game. That's the power of it.
Jeez.
Bro, the dances, they're like all that stuff. It's had media in it since day one.
I'm admittedly not a Fortnite player, but wow, that's breaking new ground there. That's pretty. I mean, that's really innovative. And if you're thinking about ways of getting new players into your game, I mean, I'm not saying you should have Travis Scott dancing around in Guilty Gear.
I mean, that'd be sick. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Can we get Travis Scott in Guilty Gear? Let's do it.
Make him the Pixel.
He can be the new character, man. I'm a character. Let's do it. But I'm not saying necessarily do that, right? But like, that's a different kind of case than the fact that game has like a different. My point being, like, a lot of modern games, especially the more popular ones, they have like a simpler appeal, a more modern. There's more media integration, social media integration. There's the way the marketing and the advertisement is so beyond what we're used to. And fighting games have like outside of NRS like zero of that, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it really becomes kind of we're all older guys, right? But you got to remember, like, fighting games, especially with up until now, it feels like I feel like the younger generation that's been hopping on these games has become thinner and thinner.
Right, it's an old man thing.
A lot of our top players, a lot of our personalities, they were playing when they were in 5th, 6th grade. 10, 12 years old, they're going into arcade and stuff. We're having fewer and fewer of those. I think like there has to be something that I think we do where like it has a stronger appeal to younger players. And I just think it's hard,
The general consensus is that fighting games is like a boomer genre. And as much as I hate that term, but it's true. And most developers aren't doing anything to buck that trend. mainly because most fighting game developers are Japanese, and Japanese companies are very much set in their ways, and they're set in the past. I mean, we're still struggling with these really rudimentary basic necessities, like we need better net code. And
we had to kick and scream for that. We had to kick and scream. And honestly, before that announced, I didn't think there was any chance. I was proven wrong.
I didn't either. Yeah, I had to straight up say I'm sorry. I was like, damn, I'll take that back. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And look,
Me too.
If it's a boomer genre, that's fine. The only rule I have was this: you don't call me a boomer. You better not drop the hard R if you ain't a boomer like me. That's all I have to say. As far as I'm concerned, we boom. No hard R's. All love. You know what I mean? If I catch any of you kids calling me a boomer with the hard R, that's your ass. I'm exposed.